Well, hello guys. It has been quite a while since we had done the last update, but life gets busy. You guys know how it be. Today, I've got a really exciting announcement for you guys. I know. Let's see it. Let's see it. All right. So today's exciting announcement is new game modes. So I think it's a really high priority to have high variation. So as you can see, Mob Slain 0 out of 50. This is the new Slayer game mode. It takes the same concept from the Monolith. Basically, we took the old Monolith game mode where you have to kill a bunch of mobs within a specific radius and split into two different game modes. One where you just have to kill a huge amount of mobs throughout the entire dungeon. You have lots of freedom, lots of variety, go wherever you want to go, kill whatever you want to kill. And then another one that we will show you later, so stick around in the video. So, yeah, I mean, same rooms where the monoliths were, still have lots of spawns, so you're able to rack up kills pretty easily in there. It allows you to be able to not delve too deeply into the dungeon to be able to get into those and get the mob kills. But, I think it's still, oh, what's the word? Oh my goodness. It still encourages exploration since you can't get the full kill amount just within these rooms. And that's something that I think is really important. So, anyways, as far as what inspired me to do this, it took a while. I will say this idea did not come straight to my head, but I was thinking, all right, we got Vault Hunters as the mod pack, essentially as the primary concept behind this server. It is regular survival. You do your stuff, you're collecting, you're mining, you're doing all your wonderful things. But there's also this whole research tree, essentially, to unlock new mods as Vault Hunters would, or we have a research tree to be able to research new game mechanics, such as backpacks, upgraded redstone, advanced beacons, upgradable horses, we got pocket dimensions, all sorts of different things. Seriously, check out the different research tutorials that we have. That is barely a fifth of all the wonderful features we have. You should really try out the server. Check it out for yourself. But anyways, the whole concept is, all right, you can unlock these things. And how do you unlock them? Well, you have to gain these knowledge points, essentially, inside these dungeons. I'm like, awesome. Dude, I love dungeon diving, but I also love building tons of big farms. So for me, mod pack of Vault Hunters was just such a perfect game. It is just perfection incarnate, where you get to have the fun of everything. It's not just straight dungeon delving. I've been finding a couple new servers recently. There's Elysia Craft. It's more of an RPG kind of server, but has a big focus on the dungeons. There's this new server, the Illuminary Network. It is basically all dungeon diving, and they're actually doing a huge update starting 2026 where they're going to make it a full-time roguelike instead of being like, all right, you run through these dungeons and you get keep your items and stuff. They said, all right, you know what? Scrap that. We want to go full roguelike, enter the dungeon style. We're just going to go for it. I'm like, dude, that's so much fun. It is so much fun. But to me, same thing as, I think Hypixel's doing it. Raven Guard, I think is, where it's an extraction loot game, dungeon diver PvE, cooperative kind of thing. Anyways, they look amazing. They absolutely do. Don't get me wrong. I would play that stuff all day if I had friends to play them with, But I really also liked survival. And so, that's where sort of it gets me. Be able to unlock things and increases progression tree. The number of times I've started a little Minecraft server with my friends and it's like, all right, this one guy ran off and now he has 4 sets of netherite armor and we, like the rest of us, have barely moved on to diamond yet. All right, well, you know what? I can respect it. He has some extra time. He has some drive. But let's just expand out the progression tree just a bit. And by just a bit, I mean insane amount, right? And now everybody gets to keep going together. Nobody's really losing out because you're all building a town together. You're all being able to somewhat benefit from the researches that each other do. So it's not like if they research upgraded hop or advanced chest. It's this new system where it's like modular. It's the modular storage mod pack or mod essentially turned into a plugin, vanilla friendly. And it's like, all right, well, I can't use that, but I know they can, so we can hook up a bunch of farms, which I, unlocked this advanced traps. This traps mechanic from the research tree deals extra damage. So I upgrade the farms, they upgrade the storage systems. I really like the cooperative system. I get Minecraft, okay, well, a lot of your people who are going to play your server, Mr. Nipkogar, is not going to have friends. How many people in this world don't have friends? Way too many. Way too many, I'd say. But it doesn't really change the fact that that's the general audience I'm trying to cater towards, is a bunch of people who want to get together, build a town, raid dungeons together, sort of the group experience. Because to me, there's nothing better than the great group experience. I'm an extrovert by heart. I love spending time with my friends. I love going out and doing stuff with them. It's just the peak of what brings me joy in life. Amen to that. So, anyways, that was a really long tangent. I don't even know where we started it with it, but yeah. Anyway, oh yeah. So that was one of the sources of inspiration. The other one was the game Minecraft Dungeons. So it is one of the spin-offs. If you guys are probably familiar. Minecraft tried to do their Minecraft Legends, which sucked. Oh my goodness, that game sucked. I spent like $40 on it opening night, and I was just, this is disappointing. Who in their world would want to buy this? Well, apparently I did, and that was a mistake. I don't know. Not exactly my favorite moment. Not the best, not the wisest. That's why you never pre-order games. But along with that, they also had like Minecraft Earth and all these other things. Oh shoot, I am actually about to die here. Whew, okay. All right. I think I'm actually going to get out of this. Trap chest. Always beware of those. Anyways, so Minecraft Dungeons, actually ton of fun. The main reason I think it sort of isn't too popular is very low QOL. So QOL is short, fancy terminology for quality of life. To me, as, doing game design, I make a lot of board games, making this Minecraft server. To me, quality of life is actually one of the things I always try to stamp out first. I will get sidetracked so often, so many nights, like, all right, I know I want to implement, a brand new system for doing a quest that you'd be able to do. But guess what? You know what's more important than the quest to be able to get achievements and ranks and stuff? It's having the button be 2 pixels further over, so it's a little more aesthetic. I'll spend an entire hour just shifting things around. To me, that's worth it. To me, I think, hey, where do I find the difference between a good game and a great game? And that's quality of life, right? Anybody can, well, not anybody, but you come up with a really fun concept, you put in the work and effort to make it happen. Awesome, great for you. But quality of life is really the dividing line between good and great, memorable and forgettable. That's it. Honestly, like, you can try to put in the comments, here's my little plug, put in comments, try to argue with me. I'm just going to say, you're wrong. It's quality of life. That's what's important. Anyways, so with that, Minecraft Dungeons sort of lacking that, such as like key rebinds, little features that are just like, dude, I need this. Or the attack button and the revive button being the exact same button. So I go to revive somebody, a bunch of, monsters and mobs, they come down on me. I'm like, all right, now I need to attack them. Pop, pop, pop. Click the button to attack. And it just goes like spam to revive, spam to revive, spam to revive. I don't want that. I did not want that. Who would? Anyways. One of the things in Minecraft Dungeons that is like, all right, what can I get inspiration from, since this is a dungeon crawler in part, for my server. So how do you end up completing it? And that was like, all right, it takes like several weeks to make a new dungeon layout, because there are all these upgrade features that you can do, and you have to remember a bajillion different things, because there's like there's the upgrades that you can do to remove lava, upgrade to remove traps, upgrades to reveal more of the secrets. You can do upgrades to make parkour easier. Those all require a huge amount of command blocks and features and functions, and it's a mess in the head, and you gotta remember like 50 million different things. But yeah, anyways, little pause from the tangent is, ta-da, killed all the mobs, got 51, and so now the door has opened and I get to go fight the boss. The boss for this dungeon is the Necromancer. Anyways, so back to the thing. It takes forever for me to make dungeon layouts, the map layouts, right? So what can I do? Well, make a high variation of objectives. Try and make it more replayable in that sort of way. And that's where I was like, all right, well, Minecraft Dungeons has this really fun thing where they will have this arch illager, basically, sort of the final boss guy. He just makes a little cameo. It's like, all right, we're going to lock you into this little 10 by 10 grid, spawn a ton of mobs, and you can't leave. Or also in the daily towers, or, well, they're not daily, they're more like weekly towers, they'll have little end totems that you have to stay within a radius of to be able to activate. And it'll spawn tons of mobs around you while you're in that radius. I was like, okay, Dude, that works perfectly for what I need. Boom. Right? So, all right, let me just split up the monoliths game mode that I had already. I showed you guys in the last video, and pop that into 2 different game modes. Now I have more game modes, more variation. I love it because I appreciate the people who, okay, the Illuminary Network. Okay, I'm not picking on y'all. I love y'all. I have already got like 5 play hours on that server, and I joined it literally and by last night I pulled an all-nighter. So last night is like 1 a.m. I think I finally finished up Valorant, something like that. Anyways, love them to death. They made incredible stuff, but there are exactly 4 mobs in the starting dungeon. You either are fighting a slime, a rat, a golem, or a witch. That's it. I get so bored. I tried to replay it and keep playing it. I was like, okay, I'm actually bored already. And here's the other thing. They only have one way the dungeons can go. The dungeons, you enter the dungeon, you fight through the rooms, and you try to find a room with the void portal, basically, the end portal. And you jump in it, you're done with the dungeon. Okay, I don't know about you, but I would like to change things up. One, fight mobs that are more interesting than just, ooh, we're running at you. Oh, we have one ranged character, the little, like, witch, because the witch is actually like a blaze with a disguise, so it just shoots fireballs at you. And I can appreciate the imagination with that. But guess what? When the rat is just running at me, the slime is basically just like running after me. The golem is basically just running after me. They all are about the same-ish speed as each other. I'm just running in circles. Smack, smack, smack. Oh, there's a witch. Smack, smack, smack. Done. You know, move along. And every single dungeon run is just next room, next room, next room, next room. It doesn't matter that they have procedurally generated rooms. Like, one of the problems with my dungeon is that it's not procedurally generated, right? So takes me weeks to be able to get different map layouts. For example, this server right now, as I plan on releasing in like 2 weeks, will only have 2 map layouts, right? And that's like, oh my goodness, there's no variation. Yes, I get that there's no variation with the map layouts. You know, we're working on that. But it's actually, I don't know. To me, there's a huge difference. I don't know, personal bias, obviously, because this is my server, but just having the options of the objectives and you aren't just doing the exact same thing. Because, all right, here's the idea. You can, like, you're driving to work versus driving to school versus driving to, a concert. Sure, it feels different because of the destination that you're going to, and it might feel a little different because you're on highways versus back roads or something like that. But guess what? You're still driving a car. You're still driving a car. That has not changed. You're still in that car. You're still just doing the same basic thing. Now, imagine, sure, basically what I'm trying to do is right now I have less roads. You basically only have one road path. But guess what? You can drive a car there. You can bicycle there. You can take a bus there. You can end up taking a scooter there, skateboard there. That's what I'm trying to do. Make multiple ways of getting there and doing the stuff, even if the environment in which you're doing it isn't consistently different. Now, obviously, that's mostly due to a restriction of the time it takes to be able to do development of the dungeons. By the time that, 2027 rolls around, hopefully, cross my fingers, I will have a ton of different map layouts on top of all these different objectives. And, replayability will be throughout the roof because there'll be so much variation. You're practically never doing the same thing ever. You always do, all right, we're doing the same objective, but it's in a different map, or we're doing the same map, but it's a different objective. That's the goal, right? But yeah. Anyways, I think I totally forgot to actually introduce this entire monolith system. All right, so hey guys, hello. Welcome back to the video. So you see these little fun white particles right behind me. That basically shows where the monolith's radius is. You have to stay within that radius, and as you can see, the timer goes up. I don't know. Ooh, creeper. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes I'll walk outside of that little radius, and the counter will actually go back down. So yeah, if you leave the radius, the counter starts going down, and 25 minutes left, just at the same time as the monolith completed, it looks like. Does that still say monolith 2 out of 3? Oh. Well, anyways, let me kill this little sucker. Anyway, and, you guys, so, you gotta see 2 different map layouts, the 2 map layouts that we'll have on release. Or why it didn't upgrade. I probably have to add the delay to the damage function. But that's it. Anyways, so all right, and we're just going to actually just skip on to the towards the end of the video because I've run out of things to say. So see you guys in a bit. And we are back and already in the middle of a boss fight. Oh my goodness, things are going quickly today. So, actually, some of you may have already seen this. I ended up posting a video a little while ago. Was just about got a nice day off of work, and I spent like 5 hours in a row designing this boss non-stop. I was like, oh, you know what? This could be a great video. So I just had like, both screens being recorded super wide, entirely out of aspect ratio video of me doing the coding and also like play testing, going back and forth, trying to modify the abilities, change the particles. Like, all right, what do I like? What do I not like? And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me put this over lo-fi tunes. So I looked up on YouTube, lo-fi playlist, found some video, copied their audio, and, copied then, their text. It was like, all right, here's the credit for the songs, yada, yada. And okay, you know what? That's kind of a cool song, a concept. That's to me, just laying back, enjoying lo-fi tunes. And you know what? While you're enjoying your lo-fi tunes, go check out what I'm coding. Go check out how I playtest. Go check out how I design things. I think you guys will like it. But that is this new boss. It's basically the super cool ancient crystal. It may not be the most intuitive. That is one thing I found during playtesting is people don't really know how to kill it. Initially, they're thinking like, oh, I break the block and then they punch it or something, and then it doesn't break, and then they're confused, and then they're like, oh, what do I do? I'm like, just keep punching it, bro. That's all you gotta do. Just keep punching it. Anyways, it has a ton of different fun abilities like locking you down. It has this laser that locks onto you and just bam, 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 spams you. It has shields that pop up later down. It has, you might have been hearing the sort of sound effects, and those are like, shots or like beams coming down from above. You can't really see them from first person. They look so cool. From third person perspective, they got the explosive shot. Every time you punch it, it does one of these airburst kind of things. Dude, I love this boss. It's a ton of fun because I think trying to do sort of a fun, weird gimmick where, oh, it's actually a crystal that just kind of sits there. It's a great thing. And you know what? It's not a terribly hard boss. I'm doing this with a mix of diamond and iron armor, which I think is about where, you could easily be before you do, your first casual dungeon and stuff. So anyways, that is for today, but not actually, because I got a little something for you guys. We ended up changing out one of the researches while trying to do some optimizations. We now have Uber enchants. So essentially what was the original system is a bunch of tools that would do like 3x3 digging and stuff. And it just required a lot of conditional events that really lock things down. Now here's this librarian who sells you Uber enchantments. Cool stuff. All right, see ya.